Welcome to Season 2 of the official podcast of the Fish Wrapper publication. Our goal is to bring you story content to inspire, encourage, and uplift the soul. It's our hope you find these stories refreshing, thought-provoking, and motivating as you face the challenges of everyday life. So turn us up and tune your ears, and let's get started by jumping right into the story. The Doctor's Cow, Part 2, by Emma S. Allen. Read by Stephen Fiddler. At about midnight, the sleepless young watcher lying on the edge of the hay just above the empty manger over which a lantern swung, lifted himself on his elbows at the sound of a long, low, shuddering groan, and in another moment, Harry knew that poor Brindle had ceased to suffer the effects of her gluttonous appetite. Creeping down into the stall, he saw at a glance that the cow was dead, and for a moment, alone there in the stillness and darkness of the spring night, he felt as if he were the principal actor in some terrible crime.
"Poor old boss," he sobbed,
kneeling down and putting his arm over the still, warm neck.
I've killed you after all the rich milk and butter you gave me. That made me grow strong and fat, just by my carelessness.
In later years, the memory of that hour would come back to Harry Aldous as the dominant note in some real tragedy, and he never again smelled the fragrance of new hay, mingled with the warm breath of sleeping cattle, without recalling the misery and self-condemnation of that long night's watch. In the early dawn, Dr. Layton found the boy lying beside the quiet form in the stall, fast asleep from exhaustion and grief, his head pillowed on the soft, tawny coat he had loved to brush until it gleamed like silk. "My dear child," he gasped, bending over and taking the lad in his arms and carrying him out into the sweet morning air. "Harry, why did you not come and tell me and then go to bed?" he cried, setting the bewildered boy on his feet and leading him to the house. "Now, my boy, no more of this grieving. The thing is done, and you cannot help it now. There is no more use in crying for a dead cow than for spilled milk. Now come in and go to bed, and stay there until tonight. And when you wake up, the new heifer, Brindle's daughter, will be in the barn waiting for you to milk her. I'm going to buy her this morning." "5 years after that eventful night, Harry Aldous stood on the doctor's front porch, a youth of 18, bidding goodbye to the two who had been more to him than father and mother. He was going to college in the West, where he could work his way, and in his trunk was a high school diploma, and in his pocket, a gilt-edged recommendation from Dr. Layton. "God bless you, my boy. Don't forget us," said the doctor, his voice husky with hushed tears as he wrung the strong young hand that had been so helpful to him in the busy years flown by. "Forget you?" murmured the young man, not even trying to keep the tears out of his eyes. "No matter how many years it may be before I see you again, I shall always remember your unfailing kindness to me. And can I ever forget how you saved me for a higher life than I could possibly have lived if you had set me adrift in the world again for leaving that barn door unfastened and killing your cow? As long as I live, I shall remember that great kindness and shall try to deserve it by my life." "Harry," said the doctor, "that was nothing but common humanity." "Uncommon humanity," corrected the youth. Goodbye, Mrs. Layton. I shall always remember your kindness, too, and that you never gave me any less butter or cream for Brindle's daughter for my grave offense. You have been like an own mother to me." "You have deserved it all, Harry," said the doctor's wife, and there was a tear in her eye, too, which was an unusual sight, for she was not an emotional woman. "I do not know as it was such a great calamity after all to lose Brindle as we did, for Daisy is a finer cow than her mother was, and there has not been another chance since to get as good a heifer." "So, it was a blessing in disguise after all, Harry," laughed the doctor. "As for you, you have been a blessing undisguised from that day till this. May the Lord bless and prosper you. Please write to us often." We hope you've been enjoying this story. We will continue in just a moment. We pause to discuss the sponsor for this episode. If your business isn't using key marketing tools, you could be missing out on valuable opportunities to grow. That's where Little Mountain Printing comes in. They offer powerful marketing solutions like postcard mailers and websites to attract new customers, brochures to showcase your products or services, and promotional products to show appreciation to clients. With the right marketing in place, your business has the best chance to thrive. Get started today by calling Little Mountain Printing at 717-933-8091 or visit them online at littlemountainprinting.com. Now let's return and finish the story. "4 years passed, and in one of the western states, a young college graduate stepped from his pedestal of honors to take a place among the rising young lawyers of a prosperous new town that was fast developing into a commercial center. "I'm doing well, splendidly," he wrote Dr. Layton after 2 years of hard work, "and one of these days I'm coming back to make that promised visit." But the years came and went, and still the West held him in its powerful clutch. Success smiled upon his pathway, and into his life entered the sweet, new joy of a woman's love and devotion, and into his home the happy music of children's voices. When his eldest boy was 8 years old, his district elected him to the state senate, and 4 years later sent him to Congress. "And now, at last," he wrote Dr. Layton, "I'm coming east, and I shall run down from Washington for that long-promised visit." "Why do you write so seldom, when I have never yet failed to inform you of my advancement in the world of politics? It is not fair. And how is the family cow? Surely, Madam Daisy sleeps with her poor mother." And to this letter the doctor replied briefly, but gladly. "So, you are coming at last, my boy. Well, you will find us in the same old house, a little the worse for wear, perhaps, and leading the same quiet life. No, not the same, though it is quiet enough, for I'm growing old, and the town is running after the new, young doctors, leaving us old ones in the rear to trudge along as best we can. There isn't any family cow now, Harry. Daisy was sold long ago for beef. Poor thing. We never got another, for I'm getting too old to milk, and there never seemed to come along another boy like the old Harry, who could take all the barnyard responsibilities on his shoulders. Besides, Mother is crippled with rheumatitis and can hardly get around to do her housework, let alone make butter. We're not any too well off since the Union Bank failed. Besides losing all my stock, I have had to help pay the depositors' claims, but we have enough to keep us comfortable, and much to be thankful for, most of all, that our famous son is coming home for a visit. Bring your wife, too, Harry, if she thinks it would not be too much of a drop from Washington society to our humble home. And the children, all 5 of those bright boys and girls, bring them all. I want to show them the old stall in the barn, where 25 years ago I picked up their father in my arms early one spring morning as he lay fast asleep on the neck of the old cow over whose expiring breath he had nearly broken his poor little heart. Yes, Father. Of course it has paid to come down here. I would not have missed it for all the unanimous votes of the 3rd ballot that sent me east, declared the United States Senator at the end of his 3 days' visit. Long ago, the Honorable Harry Aldous had fallen into the habit of addressing Dr. Layton in his letters by the paternal title. It does not seem possible that it is 20 years since I stood here saying goodbye when I started west. By the way, do you remember what you told me that memorable night when the lamented Brindle lost her life because of my carelessness and her own gluttony? I was standing at the horse's head and you were sitting in your buggy there at the carriage steps, and I said I wish you would horsewhip me instead of treating me so kindly. I remember you reached over and tickled my neck with the lash and told me there was no use in thrashing a fellow who was all broken up over an accident. The doctor laughed as he held his arms more closely about the shoulders of Senator Aldis's 2 oldest sons, while Grandmother Layton, with little Ted in her lap, was dreaming again of the little form that had long, long ago been laid in the graveyard on her hillside. Yes, said the doctor. I remember. What a blessed thing it was I did not send you off that day. And he laughed through his tears. Blessed? Echoed Mrs. Layton, putting down the wiggling Ted. It was providential. You know, Harry, I was not so kind-hearted as John in those days, and I thought he ought to send you off. But he declared he would not, even if you had cost him 2 cows. He said that if he did, it might cost the world a man. And so it would have, if all they say you are doing out west for clean government is true. Senator Aldous laughed and kissed the old lady. I do not know about that, he said modestly. I'm of the opinion that he might have saved more of a man for the world, but certain it is, he saved whatever manhood there was in the boy from going to waste. But what I remember most, Father, is what you told me there at the carriage steps, that when I became a man, I could pay you for that cow. Well, I'm not exactly a rich man, for I'm not in politics for all the money I can get out of it, but I am getting a better income than my leaving the barn door open would justify. So, now I can pay that long-standing debt without inconvenience. It may come in handy for you to have a little fund laid by, since the Union Bank went to smash and all your stock with it, and so much of your other funds went to pay the poor depositors of that defunct institution. It was just like you, Father, not to dodge the assessments by putting all your property in your wife's name as so many of the stockholders did. So, since you made one investment 25 years ago that has not seemed to depreciate in value very much, an investment in a raw, young boy who did not have enough gumption to fasten a barn door, here's the interest on what the investment was worth to that boy. At least a little of it, for I can never begin to pay it all. Goodbye, both of you, and may God bless you. Here comes our carriage, Helen. When the dust of the departed filtered through the morning sunlight, 2 pairs of tear-dimmed eyes gazed at the slip of blue paper in Dr. Layton's hand. a check for $5,000. "We certainly saved a man that time, sure enough," murmured the old doctor softly. The end. We hope you enjoyed this story and will join us again soon when we unravel another adventure from the pages of The Fish Wrapper. We want to remind you that The Fish Wrapper is available by subscription. Each issue of The Fish Wrapper is jam-packed with story content, amazing recipes, games, jokes, and much, much more. Our readers never want to miss an issue, and you can order yours today by visiting thefishwrapperonline.com or by calling 717-400-FISH. That number again is 717-400-FISH. We encourage you to like and subscribe to this podcast, ensuring that you never miss a new episode. See you again soon, and may our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ guide you.